It is 11:41 p.m., November 7th, 2023. And I'm supposed to tell you something that I learned real quick recently. I was going to type this on the community board, but I figured it's better if I just tell you. If you have abandonment issues, take a minute and okay, take a minute and breathe into your belly. Just breathe regularly. Try to visualize like your mental images, okay? A white bubble all around you, and the light's coming from your heart center. Take as long as you need to try to get that imagined properly. See it, feel it, hear it, taste it. And just connect with what your higher power is. The Most High Source, God, you know? You guys have a bunch of different names for and a bunch of different deities and stuff, but what I'm referring to is that one note you feel within you when you think of God. I don't care what you call it. It's a note of purity. It's just pure light, man. I don't know how to explain it. Feel a little better? Okay. Now with this bubble around you, kind of move it like up and down, left and right. Just kind of situate yourself. Try not to have internal dialogue or emotional reactions. You can visualize you're in a nice meadow, in a bubble, and you're just experiencing a beautiful sunny day. Whatever. Now, try to remember the feeling of feeling abandoned. And just kind of acknowledge it. Like it's sitting there with you. Everything you feel when you feel that abandonment is regarding someone others think you are. The version of you that's really peaceful, that's your own true self, your core self. No one knows that. Only God knows it. So no one's abandoning you. You didn't abandon anyone. What you guys abandoned or feel abandonment from is the personality self. What people perceive you to be and what you perceive yourself and portray yourself to be. People abandon that. Or that is what abandoned people. Underneath that is the decision maker within you that doesn't listen to voices, sounds, words, nothing. It's a knowing inside. When you don't listen to that knowing and you make choices from reactions based on what you're thinking, you're sorry, this cat is leaning right on the mouse, and if he leans any harder, it'll close the video. Watch out, baby cat. Um, Let me give you an example. Someone you don't like. You don't see them 24/7, so you don't really know who they are. You can't feel what they're feeling. Even if you're an empath, you can't really feel what someone else is genuinely feeling because each person is so complex. You can only kind of get a signature, an imprint, a, a glow of that person's inside emotional state, the vibe. Do you comprehend what this is? It's spirits, entities, thought forms, emotions, and energy, emotions, etc., that aren't yours, that you felt or that you've caused others to feel. So the abandonment wound stuff, you have to detach from it, and then you have to look at it. Who's really being abandoned? Because a lot of that also, as those that feel abandoned know, internally it's also a sense of self-abandonment, isn't it? It's like discarding pieces of the self, not making decisions you should, and then discarding the possibility of who you could have been. And then that builds resentment. So it's kind of like spirit of resentment and spirit of abandonment and spirits of sorrow and grief that have or had wherever you are on your healing journey been influencing you to feel certain things by influencing your behavior, your thought pattern, your eating habits, your daily behavior, and through the energy transmitted through your field, both in and out. When it's millions and millions and millions and billions of people and nature and life and elements and radio waves and internet waves and microwaves and whatever else, there's a big impact on beings who are alive. So give yourself a little break from all that grief, because if you guys have any entity attachments, they're probably really gorged on sad emotions and fear. So instead of doing things the difficult way, look at the emotion, look at the energy, look at it, look at the color of it, look at the feeling of it, not just the energy of it, but the feeling of it. But don't do all these things if you're thinking and processing and analyzing that. The mind will always scam you. It doesn't know any better. The internet will always find a way to scam you. It's a liquid crystal display screen powered by electricity and your attention. Do you really think entities and energy isn't transferred through screens? There's Reiki videos alone that, like, so depending on how much time you spend online, how much time you spend with other people online, what you're watching on television, the energy you're emitting, the sense of self can get a little convoluted, especially if you touch other people. Then you're also absorbing through the skin bacteria, etc., from those people who have completely different lives. But those people's bacteria and stuff also have consciousness. You see how weird human life gets, or life in general gets? It's all connected. So I can't sit here and pull cards for you and tell you, advice and the problem and stuff all the time, when the real issue inside, in a lot of people, myself included, is a wavering from the internal self. It's kind of like if you, how do I word this? You know how people tell you get out of your head? Can you for a second pretend you're thinking from your chest? Like your thinking center is in your chest. If you can't, then the stuff I'm saying to you probably doesn't make any sense. So until you can make sense of it, just do what you can to tune in to your core vibration. Who and what you really are, and who and what you really feel like. Not your thoughts, not your emotions, not your feelings, not your drama, none of that stuff. Just what you feel without those things. If that doesn't make sense, I'm so sorry, because I don't know how else to explain this to you. Sorry, I have to fix this camera. Or the things I have going on the live stream. Okay. That's a whole lot of stuff in the energy field, right? Now let's go back to the beginning of this. All of that, these past 12 minutes, there's been a detachment from you and those energies, right? Do you have enough inner awareness to now look at the rest of yourself and tidy up and recognize what's actually yours and what isn't? Not just speaking it, not just thinking it, not just feeling emotions and letting them go like Harry Potter balloon wands or some shit. No, but actually, maturely, with wisdom inside you, attempt to acknowledge I'm trying to find a way to say this without offending a bunch of people. There's a part of each person that enjoys some kind of negative emotion. If at first you feel abandoned by someone and you don't learn the lesson, you keep getting abandoned, or you keep abandoning, and then you eventually somehow become addicted to that abandonment, right? So we can skip all that and just go right back to the core point of all this energy and thought forms and entities and what we're paying attention to and the choices you're making. If you feel abandoned by someone, they're not abandoning you. And if you're feeling negatively and sad about it, there's an entity attachment to it. and wanting to feel like, oh, that being cold and emotionless means narcissism. No, there's a difference. There's a difference. That's what the entities don't want you to recognize. There's a difference between neutral and heartless. But to those energies, it's a very black and white thing. So, what can you do when those negative emotions come up, when those triggers show up? You have a choice, don't you? Continue into that feeling or choose different. But you can't go from choosing different instantly from like polar opposites, which means you're going to have to be okay with feeling slightly less negative emotions if you're really down there in rock bottom, in grief town and Sorrowville and all that stuff. Before you can sell your house in Despair Town, you're going to want to find somewhere else to live in, maybe Boring Town or, Pleasant something, or just chill vibe, Central City. I don't know. Find a blank neutral and step up on the emotional staircase. Use your imagination and try not to use it to hurt other people. And if you get weird imaginations, don't respond emotionally to them. Just let them go. Just let them fly by. There's so many tips and tricks you can use to maintain balance for yourself. I'm still learning. So what you can do is different than what I can do. I'm basically just, I don't even know. I don't even know. God's basically driving the car all the time at this point. I'm just staring out the passenger seat window and I'm like, taking notes and learning. So this is one of those things I was supposed to tell you because I think it's helpful. There's a healthy detachment that most people should be learning. And I say that very respectfully because there's a lot of emotional stuff and drama that people have conjured up for themselves that is completely pointless. But then again, it has a point. Its point is to show you how pointless it is. So if it's working, it's working. If it isn't, it isn't. Just be aware the next time you want to feel those negative emotions, what was the thought you just had before that negative emotion? That thought isn't yours. It's a negative entity. Cast it out. Try it. Every once in a while, whenever you get those negative emotions, just cast it out. Bye. And look at how much your life is going to change in just a few days. And when your thoughts if your thoughts get overwhelming, if your emotions get too intense, or if you're, having a panic attack or an anxiety attack or some kind of whatever, a really neat trick you can use: keep saying the word God in your head. Like Father, Mother, or Holy Spirit. I keep saying, peace or balance, something. You don't fight fire with fire. You don't fight darkness with darkness. So I know you guys can get this and do this. Everything you guys have done up to this point has been influenced by things that were running amok. So take a chill pill from all of the negativity in your lives for just a few minutes. I don't know what's going on in the world. I really genuinely have no idea. I'm surprised I can even live stream right now. So just take a minute and breathe. Grassy fields, bubbles all around you. And just remember that center you. Your thinking brain isn't in your head. It's in your chest. It's your heart. Think with that. When you get overwhelmed, repeat the words God in your head over and over and over. If you're feeling anxious, wiggle your toes, move your feet, get up and walk around, drink some water. The rule of thumb I've been saying a lot and not listening to myself is drink more water than you eat out every day. You don't have to be a saint or a sinner. Try to find a balance point within your life. Follow the very karmic rules, the universal rules. That way you're not being the karmics to yourselves with your ego personality while your true self underneath is battling your ego personality. And then, it gets sugar-coated and glorified as light versus dark and shadow versus whatever. It's you versus your choices. At some point, when you unravel the threads of everything inside you, you're going to find something else in there than I have in me. But along the way, you're probably going to find something that's really peaceful. Go from there. If your imagination is running amok, how many different variations of ladybugs and butterflies can you imagine? If you're a comic book nerd, how many comic books can you write yourself? If you're a computer geek, how many different ways can you soup up a computer? You want to fix mine? Focus on other things until you can look at your emotion that was bringing you down objectively. My methods won't work for you, but hopefully your methods will work a little easier for yourself now. I think that's good. Also, there was something else. I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't matter right now. I'm gonna go because I don't want this to take forever to get to whoever it needs to get to. Remember, negative emotions, when you feel them, it's okay to feel them. It's not okay to use them to feel. Okay? Now, I'm talking to narcissists and empaths. There's no difference. A narcissist is just an empath who was traumatized to the point where they became a vessel for entities to use. Wake up. Talk to God. Get your life right by you. Not because of threats of nothing negative. No. But because the time you're spending in those negative emotions, you could be reveling in positive memories, beautiful life experiences, working together to find solutions and building better architectural buildings and things in harmony with nature. You guys could be using all that magic you're using to get baby mamas and baby daddies back to bringing baby birds and baby trees, healthier food, imagining new trees, blessing forests, blessing the streets and the waters. You can be the gardeners of earth, of a Garden of Eden. The only problem out there is how you guys are behaving with each other. Species to species, humans to whatever, humans to themselves and the self to the self. Okay? I love you. Take care of yourself. I'm gonna go. Breathe. I don't know if you're still in your meadow, but whenever you want to go back to your day-to-day life, go for it. Just I'm not saying that. That I'll say. Treat yourself, your emotions, and your thoughts better than you would treat your pets. Because I know a lot of you treat pets real, like, better than babies and better than people, better than nature. Start applying that to yourself in nature. I mean, good God, man. You guys are, it's a sentient planet. Whether it's a matrix, a construct, a simulation or not, it's to be perceived as a sentient planet, right? Why are you being so disrespectful to a planet? Like, bonkers, bro, bonkers. Now, I'm gonna go because I've said enough. Take care of yourself. Don't feed the entities. And try to allow yourself to remember good things. Your past was also good, okay? Your future can be good too.